Good morning, everyone. And just to give a brief introduction about myself, I'm Shashi Singh, having worked in the asset management industry for last 25 years across asset management companies like ICICI Prudential and Reliance Mutual Fund and Religare Global Asset Management. I currently head Pan India sales for IFL AMC and have been in this role since last 4 years. What I want to take the next 10 minutes today in this session is to talk briefly on the markets because we're all witnessing very high Nifty and Sensex, and people are worried what to do. Apart from that, I'll focus on the SEBI categorization of the mutual fund schemes, specifically focusing on multi-cap and focused categories and how they help investors who are looking at investing in mutual funds. So, taking it on for the markets, and we've seen in November post the rise in October, Nifty and Sensex both saw an all-time high in November, and this is witnessed basically on two, three factors. Some positive news on the COVID vaccine, recovery on the economic side, which is witnessed. Q2 results for most of the companies have been far good, and also all the policy actions taken to support the recovery and ride this pandemic. So all this put together has helped the markets look up, and what we feel is that it's not that the markets are very high and one should wait for a correction. We might see equity valuations a little higher, but they'll continue to rise, backed by the same factors that I spoke just now. And therefore, we strongly believe that allocations to equity should continue. Ultimately, it's a risk reward between equity and other asset classes. So what we have to see is, will equities continue to outperform the other asset classes like fixed income, real estate, gold on a consistent basis and on a risk adjusted basis? We still see that equities will outweigh all other asset classes for the time being. So very strongly believe today we are at price to book of about 2.9, 2.92, and though they are looking a little higher, we still see growth coming in, which helps saying that we should continue to invest in equities. So that's broadly on our market view. We've seen policy action from RBI through this pandemic. Till now, we've seen 115 basis points rate reduction. That's also helping demand pick up, especially in the real estate sector, which ultimately helps the steel industry, the cement industry, and a lot of consumer durables, which we've seen on the lower segment, consumer discretionary companies have started doing well. So eventually all these policy actions are helping the economy to come back on the pre-COVID lines. We've seen the Q2 results, which have been good. And largely on the COVID side, people are now far more comfortable. We have good news on the vaccine, though it might take some time for the vaccine to come in to the masses. Yet we have been able to see that there is positive signs. And we see all around us that activities in the markets around us have started, at least they're at 80% from where we were post the COVID in March and April and after the lockdown. So that's our view on the market. And when you have to allocate to equities, the best option is to allocate through mutual funds. And I would like to comment here that the regulator has been doing a lot of actions to ensure that the investors get the best out of the mutual funds. One such thing that they initiated about 2 years back and have been continuously working on that front is categorization of mutual fund schemes, so that investors can on their own understand what each mutual fund stands for and what do they get when they invest in that mutual fund. So there are categories now which are well defined as large cap, mid cap, small cap, multi cap, focus, thematic, sectoral. So when one invests, they know what are they getting into, and there are strict boundaries for fund managers to act within those categories. This has helped the investors who invest on their own to decide which category they want to invest in based on the risk reward, and also be certain what they get in which category. So I'll now focus today on the multi-cap and the focused category, which SEBI has defined, which was further refined some time back. So focused category is nothing but while mutual funds schemes are free to invest in any number of stocks, but investors who feel that over diversification might dilute the returns and they want to look at some concentrated portfolios, there's a focused category in which the limitation is that the number of stocks cannot exceed 30 stocks, which means it's not a very concentrated portfolio like a 15-18 stock portfolio which you get in a PMS or an alternate investment fund, but it is not an over diversified portfolio like a normal mutual fund which will hold about 55 to 60 stocks. So we would call it an optimal mix of risk and diversification in a focused category. A focused fund could be in any category that the AMC wants. It can have one focused category fund. Now, on the broader categories, while large cap, mid cap, small cap, multi cap, these are the categories, SEBI has further refined multi cap category. So, what is multi cap? In a multi cap category, the fund manager has the leeway to invest across market caps, which is large cap, mid cap, and small cap. Till some time back, there was no restriction on how much in which market cap can the fund manager invest. And therefore, multi-cap funds within the same category, the risk ranged from a 0 to a 10 on a 0 to a 10 scale widely, because some multi-cap funds were large cap buyers, some were mid-cap buyers, some were small cap buyers. So then your risk becomes very diverse. So what SEBI has gone and further refined, which is very good for multi-cap category, is that any multi-cap fund, true to its definition, should have 25% each in large cap, mid cap, and small cap stocks. And the balance 25 could be spread across any of the three categories. So now when an investor invests in a multi-cap fund, he is fairly clear as to what is he getting. He would get anywhere between 25 to 35% across large cap, mid cap, and small cap. So the fund is not, while in multi-cap category, not giving you very high large cap or very high small and mid cap. So your risk is very fairly divided between these three. So ideally, when an investor invests in the market, he should look at multi-cap funds, because then it is very difficult for an investor to individually switch between a large cap, a mid cap, and a small cap. Also, it tends to catch you on the capital gain side, because now with even after 1 year investment, there is capital gain tax on mutual fund schemes. So if you switch from one scheme to another, you might be liable to pay long-term capital gains tax. So as a corollary to that, if you invest in multi-cap funds, the fund manager will switch between large cap, mid cap, and small cap. At the same time, maintain the minimum 25% in all the three market caps. So you get an exposure to all three, but the fund manager is deciding the best exposure and taking between the three segments. So you save from the taxation and you're getting a fairly diversified portfolio across the three market caps. So if one was to ask between all the categories of mutual funds defined by SEBI, what's the optimal category to invest in, it would be a multi-cap category. Now, within the multi-cap category, one could look at a focused fund, because a focused fund gives you, as I said, an optimal risk-return diversification. So a 30 stock portfolio, which is a multi-cap portfolio, So you get the best of large cap, mid cap, and small cap allocations in that kind of a fund. So that becomes very important for investors to look at as to how to allocate across mutual funds. And when they are investing and they look at their overall portfolio, they have to see their allocation between large, mid, and small cap, depending on their risk profile. And therefore, in a multi cap, try to see what's the large cap allocation they're getting and club it along with the other large caps that they're doing to eventually see what's their allocation. Now, when people invest in equities, another thing that is a concern. So while everyone is saying that the upward trajectory of the markets will continue to remain, the moot question that we have to answer is what can derail this recovery? So we're seeing a lot of funds flow happening. We're seeing amongst the US, Europe, UK economies, Asian economy, and especially India is very well poised to recover and generate better corporate performance compared to most of the European countries or other countries. China is facing its own issues. So what is it that can derail this recovery for us? And or to put it in other ways, what is the risk today to equity markets or their growth? So majorly talking, there are only two risks that we foresee. One is another breakout on the COVID side, or a failure of the vaccine that's come out, or failure of the governments to contain this pandemic, and we see one more bout of lockdowns that can derail this. Having said that, this looks a little muted as a risk. The second major risk is the global risk, as we call it, the standoff between the China and US, the tech war that's going on, and the geopolitical tension between US and China, China and the Asian economies, where China is trying to do its geographic realignment. So these things can affect the markets on the other side and would derail this recovery. While these are risks that are associated and one has to be keep in cognizance these risks, but stay invested in equity markets is what is important to generate a CAGR return which is better than other asset classes. What is important in these times is also to review, rebalance, and allocate in your portfolios. I'll take 2 minutes to explain what I mean by that. A constant review of the portfolio of any investment is very important. So from an investor's point of view, it is important to see where you've invested, how you're allocated, whether the fund is in the right segment, whether the fund is in the right sector, whether it needs reallocation. You should look at that. That's review. Post the review, it is very important to rebalance your portfolio. There are many funds which are categorized and have limitations to change their holdings. But if you feel that this is not in line with the current markets and may get affected, you are free to rebalance your portfolio. It is very important that we review at least once in 6 months our portfolio and rebalance it as and when required, so that we don't fall in the troughs of the market and we keep riding the upside of the market. And the third most important thing is allocation. So if you're not allocated to the right asset class, whatever you do, if you're in the best product of any other asset class, you will not be able to generate the kind of wealth that you are anticipating for yourself. Allocation into equity, debt, real estate, gold, or any other asset class that you're looking at, depending on your risk profiling, it is very important that you decide how much allocation you want and stick to that allocation on a regular basis. So that's what I wanted to say on the allocation. Now coming to IIFL AMC, and we have our flagship fund called IIFL Focused Equity Fund. This is a multi-cap categorization fund, which means it invests across large cap, mid cap, and small cap categories, and a focused fund. So it is also a 30 stock portfolio. So it gives you the benefit of optimal stock diversification with the 30 stock portfolio and concentration at the same time without increasing the risk. Also, since it's a multi-cap portfolio, the fund manager allocates across large cap, mid cap, and small cap. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the best of concentration and diversification risk adjustment, and you get all the three markets cap in one portfolio. So this is the flagship fund from IIFL Focused Equity Fund. The fund size is currently about 1,300 crores, and that also lends it a very good character, especially in such times, because if your fund size is very large, it becomes difficult to change your positions in markets, and current market is a very good example of that. COVID hit us without any precedence, and in such times, there are two ways. One, there are stocks which get affected by COVID. They will fall and then they'll recover. Would one want to wait for that to recover? Because our long-term view was very positive on the stock. And herein, I will take an example of most of the banking stocks which witnessed this fall. Some have risen, some have still not risen, depending on the character of their book and their performance. Now, if a small fund size, what it lends to the fund manager is the ease and convenience with which he can move out of stocks and which are out of flavor and get into other stocks. We call it agility in fund management, and that is very important for driving performance in a fund. Just to take you through some more detail, and say, for example, a fund is at 10 rupees NAV today and shows a 50% fall due to COVID and comes at 5 rupees NAV. Now, from this 5 rupees NAV, the fund has to generate a 100% return to come back to 10 rupees, which was your starting point. So unless the fund does 100% return, you're still at 0% return. And post that, your positive gains start. Now, instead of that, if the fund manager was able to change the stock profile or the stock portfolio because they were expecting the stocks to go down, the fund would have not fallen from 10 to 5, maybe would have fallen from 10 to say 8, and therefore the recovery would have been faster. So that's what I mean. You don't ride the troughs and you keep riding the upside. The lesser the trough, the higher is the CAGR of the fund, and it's more beneficial on longer terms. So the fund with the 1,300 crore size, what we did is pre-January or pre-February when the COVID hit us, IIFL Focused Equity Fund was a large cap biased multi-cap fund, 30 stock portfolio. But what is most important to note is we were very bullish on financial services sector. And therefore the fund had about 45% allocation to financial services sector. Because the strong belief was that if Indian economy has to grow, financial services sector has to show that, lead that growth for the country. Come COVID, and this was the most affected sector. Within the financial services sector, I won't say the whole sector got affected. There were some companies which benefited, like the insurance companies, they benefited from the COVID. But the banks or the lending companies, which are also a part of the financial services sector, were affected badly. So as we stand today, if you see Focused Equity Fund, we're at about 32% allocation to financial services sector. Within that also, some of the banks which we felt might get affected, take time to recover, are not there. And some of the banks where the book was such and there was already restructuring that happened, for example, ICICI Bank, we felt it is a great buy at that level. We increased our allocation to ICICI Bank. Today, it's at top holding at about 9.5% in the fund and has given very good performance post-COVID. It saw a bottom of about 320 levels and we're about 550 levels today as we talk for ICICI Bank. So that's just to give an example on that. While Bajaj Finance, we reduced our allocation, it recovered very fast on the back of its tech ability, and we now it's there in the portfolio. We also have HDFC Bank, which is a secular growth story, and they're in the. But what we've also done is we reduced our financial services sector allocation and increased our allocations to cyclicals and defensives, which would benefit in these markets. And so we got tech companies added, we got pharma companies, healthcare and pharma companies added, and some consumer discretionary companies, which has helped us ride this whole downside in the market and come out unscathed. I would like to take 2 minutes to show you the performance of IIFL Focused Equity Fund. 1 year return as of the current period is about 23%. This compared with most of the funds, which are at about 11 to 15% return for a 1 year period. And Nifty TRI, if I see, the return is about 13.22%. So that's the kind of outperformance in this 1 year. But what is important to note is how is the portfolio positioned today, which should be reflective from the last 3 months or a 1 month return. So if I see the last 3 months return, it is 20%, 20.6% return compared to a Nifty TRI return of about 17.88%. I'd also like to tell you that last 5 year return, this fund has a 6 year track record. Last 5 year CAGR return is 15.5% as compared to a Nifty TRI of 12.8%. So what I'm trying to bring to your notice over here is any fund, you have to see two things. Is the performance good? Now, how do you see whether the performance is good or not? Is to see performance in short term and long term. Short term tells you how the current portfolio is placed and therefore how is the performance. Long term shows you how consistent is the fund manager in performing in the fund. So are you seeing this as a volatile fund that one period it performs, one period doesn't perform, which will not help you because you're not timing and your CAGR returns will fall. But if the fund is consistently performing over long term also, which means the fund manager is consistently outperforming over longer periods and help you generate wealth through the CAGR returns that get added. Short-term portfolio, of course, shows how the portfolio is positioned today for you to drive the performance. What we also do in our fund is follow an SCDB investment framework wherein all the listed stocks are divided into 4 categories. Secular growth stocks, where we see a ROI and PAT of about 15% consistently over longer periods of time. They are like secular growth stocks. They are consistently growing, maybe because of the market environment, because of the business, because of the management, for various reasons. Then there are cyclicals and defensives, which show cyclicals by nature show performance in bouts, and that can be affected by the same market cycles, industry or sector in which you are. Defensives are sectors which perform when the markets are not doing well. And value traps, the most important part, are those stocks which always look very attractive in their pricing. So they're always very low price to book stocks, but never show growth. So their ROI and PAT will always be below 15%. Whereas in cyclicals and defensives, your ROI and PAT, one of them is above 15%, the other one is below 15% for longer periods of time. So in these times when COVID has hit, we've increased our allocation to cyclicals and defensives. We've increased healthcare, consumer durables, and tech stocks. We've reduced financials, as I said, on stocks which will get impacted and will remain impacted for longish term due to COVID. We do have some value traps, and I'd like to add over here. So there is a research and analysis based on which we define stocks as value traps. Bharti Airtel is one of our holdings, which is defined as a value trap. But normally value traps, if they show growth, will move to cyclicals in shorter period of time. And we've seen good recovery shown in Bharti. In fact, last month they were the first time they've um, toppled Jio in the number of new customers acquired for the month of November. So Bharti Airtel is one of our value trap stocks. We also have SL Propack and Mahindra and Mahindra, which are two other stocks which we have added to our portfolio. Mahindra and Mahindra has seen a change in the CEO. Post that change, we've seen a lot of changes in the way the organization is looking at things, and that's shown already started showing in the performance of the company and the stock price. So that's added in our portfolio. Since it's a 30 stock portfolio, the top 10 holdings form about 50% of the portfolio. What this shows is that it is not an over-diversified portfolio, and therefore each stock's performance is very nicely captured in the fund. At the same time, it is diversified fully across 30 stocks so that no one stock big fall can affect the fund's performance. Our top holding, as I said, is ICICI Bank, which is about 9.5%, and our lowest holding is 1%. We don't hold any stock below 1%. So typically, new stocks which we are entering will start with a smaller amount and increase. So that's on the IIFL focused equity fund, and we're available on all the digital websites. On the Grow website, this fund is available for investments, and we have our branches at the top 8 cities in the country. That's all from my side. Thank you so much and happy investing.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.